Hello Lana, my name is Namara Mary. I am a teacher of English, Primary 6. So our topic today, we are going to look at occupations, and then the subtopic is tailoring, and what we are going to look at is what we call the picture composition. So before I go straight to the picture composition, there is a story that I would like you to listen to. And this is the story. One time, the head teacher of Ampere Primary School assembled all the learners. And the reason as to why he had assembled them, he wanted to emphasize smartness among them. Do you know what happened? As he was addressing them, he came across this boy who had a very torn shirt. He was indeed very shabby. So what the head teacher did, he called this boy in front of all the learners, and then he told him to go back home and get another shirt. So the boy felt so ashamed in front of his fellow learners. So he went back home. Then when he reached home, he found his parents. He told him what had happened. So the parents also felt bad, and they did not also have money. So what they did, they sold one of the cocks that they had at home, and then they gave the money to the boy. The boy went back to school and then took the money to the bursar's office, and then he was given a new shirt. So when he got the new shirt, he went back to class. All his fellow learners were happy to see him smartly dressed. And then when the head teacher also saw him, he also felt very happy. And then he also encouraged other learners who had torn shirts to buy new ones. So that was the end of the story. I'm sure as I've been narrating this story, there is this imagination that has been coming into your mind in form of pictures. For me, I'm speaking words, but for you, you get pictures within you. So what do I mean? Pictures can also be used to tell stories, and this is what we are going to look at. We call that one a picture composition. So before I give you an example of a picture composition, there are things that I would like you to know that we follow, or let me call them rules, that we follow when we are composing stories about pictures. Rule number 1. First of all, we follow the tenses. Not each and every tense is used when we are composing those stories. We have 2 tenses that we normally use. That is the present continuous tense, and then the present perfect tense. So now this takes us back to remind ourselves what really takes place in the present continuous tense. In the present continuous tense, it is formed using 2 helping verbs. That is and are. We use the helping verb is when we are referring to a singular subject, whereas we use the helping verb are when we are referring to a plural subject, plus the verb in ing. So this tense is also commonly known as the now tense. Then the second tense that we normally follow or we also use the present perfect tense. So still I will remind you how this tense is formed. It is formed using 2 helping verbs, that is has and have, plus the verb in past participle tense. Now, those are the tenses that we normally use when we are composing stories about pictures. Then the other thing that you should mind about, the use of articles. We use article a, then also article an, when we are introducing singular countable nouns in our stories. We also use article v when we are introducing our subjects. So when do we use a and when do we use an? We use article a when we are describing a character that we are meeting for the first time in our picture. The same way to an. So the only difference here is that we use article a when we are introducing a noun that begins with a consonant sound, whereas we use an when we are introducing a noun that begins with a vowel sound. So for article the, we use it when we are referring to a subject that we have already met in one of our pictures. And another thing that we shouldn't forget, in most cases when we are dealing with picture compositions, we are given guiding words that we normally follow. So it is very important before you construct your own sentences, you go through those words. They will help you or they will guide you to understand which one is the exact picture you are talking about. Then there are also other sentences or questions that are normally given down. So it is very important you also read them. So you may find that in any of those sentences, maybe there is a picture that was described that would be giving you the correct answer. So now let us go straight to our picture. I came with one of the pictures that we are going to use in today's lesson. And this is how it looks like. I think you can see our pictures today. So there is an instruction that says, study pictures A to F and describe what is happening in each picture. This is picture A. This is picture B. This is picture C, picture D, picture E, and then picture F. I want you to look at each and every single of it. You'll find that at the end, we are going to come up with a story. Then remember, I told you that normally when we are dealing with picture compositions, that there are words that are given. So there are also guiding words here that are going to help us while we are describing. You know, you may look and then you fail to interpret. But when you go with these, when you read through these words, they might help you to confirm what you have observed. So you shouldn't ignore them. Among our words, we have the word home. We have the word taxi. We have the word stage. We have the word board. In fact, let me extend a bit here, such that none of our pictures is covered. Then we have the word get off. We have the word in front. We have the word seamstress. We have the word measure. We also have the word dress. Remember, I told you that there are some guideline questions that are normally given down there. They will also help us. So among the questions that we have here, one of them says, what is the seamstress doing in picture E? So this one will take you to picture E. If you had not identified that that one is a seamstress, there, that one is giving you a what? A clue. Then another sentence says, another question, what means of transport did they use according to picture C? So you will find that that question will also be helping you somewhere. So now, we are going to start describing what each picture is all about. Now, in your observation, what have you seen? So I think this is what you've seen. When you look at the picture, there is a lady here doing her work. There is a building there, and yet in our guiding words, we saw that there is a word home. So that means that these two, they were at their home. So remember the use of articles before you start describing. we said that we use article a and an when we are meeting the characters for the first time. So in our sentence we shall say, a man and a girl are standing in front of a house. And when we are constructing sentences, we shouldn't construct more than one. We should write one sentence for a picture. A man and a girl are standing in front of a house. So, in the second picture, you can see that when we look at this picture, the building we saw in the first picture isn't the same as the one we are seeing here. So that means that these two people had moved away from their home. They are heading somewhere. So, since we have met the two people in the first picture, this time we shall say the man and the girl are walking. They are walking, heading somewhere. Now, when we go to the third picture, we can see the very people. These two who were here, they are again happening. They are again appearing in the third picture. The man is here, the girl is here. But this time around, there is a third person whom now we see that hasn't been with us in the other pictures. So if you choose to talk about this person, again you shall say a conductor, because from the view, this person is a conductor. So you shall say a conductor in case you are to put him in your sentence. But for me here, I'll say the man and the girl are boarding a taxi. They are boarding. Now, we go to the fourth picture. Again, we are seeing the same people. The man is here. He's getting off. The girl has already got off. But there is also another person somewhere. But for us, we shall say the man and the girl are getting off the taxi. They are getting off the taxi. Now, when they got off the taxi, still we can see the same people here. This time, the man is here. The girl is here. Now there is another person somewhere here. Now, if we are to address this person, we shall not use article the, because we haven't talked about her anywhere in our composition. If we are to talk about her, we shall use article a. Now, how will our sentence be? We shall say, now we have already seen that from the actions or from what is taking place, you can see this person is making clothes. In other words, the name that is given to a person whose job is to make clothes, and a lady for that matter, we call that person a seamstress. So we shall say a seamstress is taking the girl's measurements using a tape measure. You can stop there and say a seamstress is taking the girl's measurements. And now, in the third picture, we can see the seamstress here. We shall address this person as the seamstress because we met her this side. Now we know her. We shall say the seamstress, the girl, the man. Are you getting me? Now, for this sentence, we shall say the girl is receiving a dress that the seamstress has sewn. Now, what do you get from these pictures? We come up with a story, which is the man wanted to get a dress for her girl. What they did, they set off from home, they went to the taxi stage, they boarded, they reached the seamstress's place. The seamstress took the measurements of the girl and then she sewn her a dress. That is the composition we've got from our picture. So now, that is how we handle what we call the picture composition. Now, I'm going to leave you with an activity of answering these two questions. The first question says, what is the seamstress doing in picture E? So you will go on our chart and check, where is picture E? Picture E is here. What is really taking place there? And then you will write the answer. Another question says, what means of transport did they use according to picture C? Now you'll come to your picture C. Our picture C is here. You are going to tell me what means of transport. I will get those answers from our project page and I'll be able to give you the feedback. So that is today's activity.